Have you ever noticed that the people who command the most respect, the ones who walk into a room and instantly shift the energy, rarely speak the loudest? They don't beg for attention. They don't chase approval. They don't feel the need to explain their every move. Meanwhile, those who constantly seek validation, who need to be seen, understood, or liked, are often overlooked, misunderstood, or even taken advantage of. Why? Because power isn't loud. Power doesn't beg. True power lies in restraint, in inner stillness, in the calm refusal to let the outside world dictate your worth. And no philosophy grasped this truth more profoundly than Stoicism. You see, the moment you chase people, crave recognition, or start over-explaining yourself, you've already lost. Not because others are better or more deserving, but because you've handed over your sense of worth. You've made something external more important than your internal peace. And that's the surest way to dilute your presence and diminish your value. The Stoics lived differently. They lived with quiet confidence, with unwavering clarity, with a rooted sense of self. They didn't chase, beg, or justify, because they didn't need to. They knew their worth, and in doing so, they earned a kind of unshakable respect. Today, I'll show you why the Stoics never explained themselves, never chased what wasn't theirs, and how you can embody the same mindset to attract true respect, confidence, and peace. 1. The law of scarcity. People value what is rare. There's a fundamental rule in human psychology: scarcity increases value. When something is rare, people pay attention. When it's everywhere, it gets ignored. Luxury brands understand this deeply. They don't flood the market or beg you to buy. Their silence is strategic. Their restraint is power. The same applies to people. When you're always available, always seeking, always chasing, you become common, easy to overlook. But when you stand firm, when you protect your energy, when you become rare, people take notice. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most powerful emperors and a Stoic philosopher, understood this. He believed that if something is truly meant for you, it will find its way into your life. And if not, let it go. No chasing, no clinging. Ask yourself honestly, are you constantly seeking approval? Do you feel uneasy unless someone validates your choices? Do you over-explain, hoping others will understand? If so, it's time to shift. Become the person who doesn't need to be validated. Become the one who lets go of anything that doesn't return your energy. Become rare, and watch how your presence becomes magnetic. 2. Chasing reveals fear, and fear smells like weakness. Why do people chase? Because deep down, they're afraid. Afraid of being alone. Afraid of being unseen. Afraid of being rejected. But here's the problem. People can feel that fear. And fear, especially in excess, repels. When you chase something, attention, affection, approval, you're admitting you lack it within. You're saying, I'm not enough on my own. I need something outside me to feel whole. That's not confidence. That's desperation. The Stoics refused to live this way. They practiced autarkia, self-sufficiency. Their peace came from within, not from applause, not from likes, not from recognition. Seneca wrote, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." A reminder that spreading yourself thin to please everyone is a path to losing yourself. Confidence doesn't chase. It doesn't explain. It just is. Silent, present, grounded. And when you master that presence, others begin to respect you without knowing why. 3. Begging devalues your worth instantly. In any relationship, whether personal or professional, begging destroys respect. It puts you in a position of powerlessness. And people, consciously or not, sense that imbalance. Think about it. When someone begs for a second chance, how often do they get it? And if they do, is it ever from a place of true respect? Or guilt? Or pity? Or consider the pushy salesperson, the harder they try, the more you want to walk away. Begging creates pressure. Pressure creates discomfort. Discomfort leads to avoidance. The Stoics knew, if someone cannot see your value, trying to prove it is a waste of your energy. Epictetus taught that the key to peace is to never attach yourself to what you cannot control. So instead of thinking, what if they leave? Ask yourself, what if they stay and still don't respect me? One hurts your pride, the other crushes your soul. Walk away, not out of pride, but out of peace. Your value is not a negotiation. It's a declaration. 4. Over-explaining opens the door to judgment. We all want to be understood. But there's a fine line between clarity and desperation. When you constantly explain yourself, what you're really doing is seeking permission. The most powerful people in the room? They say less. Not because they're hiding something, but because their actions speak loud enough. Every time you justify yourself to someone who doesn't respect you, you invite judgment. You open the door for your decisions to be questioned, your motives to be picked apart. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, live your values. Let your results speak. If someone misunderstands you, let them. If they ask for explanations you don't owe them. Be brief and move on. Your truth doesn't need a courtroom. 5. Indifference is power. The Stoics mastered what modern psychology calls emotional detachment. But it wasn't apathy, it was clarity. A deep understanding that your emotions don't have to be puppets on the strings of others' behavior. When someone insults you and you don't react, it confuses them. When you're rejected and stay calm, it intrigues them. When the world throws chaos at you and you remain still, that's power. Indifference is not pretending not to care. It's knowing what to care about. And more importantly, what to let go of. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You can't control people, but you can control how little their noise affects your peace. That's strength. That's why the world starts chasing you the moment you stop chasing it. 6. The Stoic way. How to apply this in your life. So how do you stop chasing? How do you embody the calm power of a Stoic? It begins with a few daily practices that gradually transform your mindset. Detach from external validation. Your worth is not in others' opinions. It's in your choices, your actions, your values. Be willing to walk away. The most powerful person in any situation is the one who can walk away without fear. Use silence as a weapon. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. When you explain less, your actions speak louder. Control what you can, release what you can't. Don't waste your energy on things outside your power. Focus on your character, your habits, your mindset. When you start living this way, everything shifts. You'll notice people start treating you differently. With more curiosity, more respect, more admiration. Not because you chased it, but because you stopped needing it. And deeper than that, you'll feel something new within you. A kind of peace. A kind of quiet confidence. A power that no one can give you and no one can take away. That's the Stoic path. That's the art of not chasing, not begging, and not explaining. Because true respect, the kind that lasts, isn't something you demand. It's something you become.